I am back. And the road to WrestleMania continues. Not So Great a Podcast, Z. Thanks for listening. And I am the one-man band, the one voice for hopefully the whole world to hear. It's going to be short. It's going to go over little quick points. I'm going to try to make it quick because time is limited. Time is of value. And time is worth more money. Anyway, hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for listening. Thanks for stopping by to listen to the show. And all right, we're going to get straight to it. This is going to be basically a week of review before the Monday Night Raw show, which will be tomorrow, would be March 18th, 2024. So last week, I'm going to do the best I can to remember everything that happened. If I miss out, I'm sorry. I'm trying my best. It's not easy to be a one-man band, to cover all these things, and I'm doing it, and I'm trying my best. And yeah, so here we go. So the week, well, let's say not this past Friday, the Friday before, Cody smacked The Rock, right? Seth accepted the challenge. Night one, WrestleMania, we have the tag team match, what we call the dream match. Cody and Seth versus The Rock and Roman Reigns. Night one, main event. Must be nice. You know, technically, I know this is like a sidebar point. How many main events has Roman Reigns had already? So if he's main eventing the tag team match and the last night, does that count as 2 more main eventing matches? Breaking or tying the record with Hulk Hogan? Is that possible? Has anybody looked into that? Just wanted to say that. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, you know, I'm going to give some thoughts about WrestleMania. There's been so much focus on The Rock returning, the whole Cody Rhodes story situation, that I have a feeling that fans in general really kind of messed this one up. My opinion. Getting my opinion again. How did we mess it up? We put so much focus on this finishing the story idea. And we forgot that there's other matches that were supposed to happen. As much as I like The Rock, and like I said, I'm a big fan of The Rock. And I would have liked to see that match. Again, I didn't want to see a repeat of the last one. I wasn't a fan of The Rock versus Cena 2 years in a row. I went because I knew that, you know, I did go to WrestleMania 29 not knowing when The Rock would fight again, because at that point, he was already a Hollywood star, you know, on his way to even being bigger, right? So, you know, when you think about it, we don't know when he's going to come back. We know he's the owner. We know he's a part owner. He's one of the top maybe 3 guys in the company now in TKO. With Ari Emanuel and the other, Nick Khan. He's like right in the middle. And he wants to just, you know, bring more attention. That's what he does. You know, The Rock is probably the biggest celebrity right now in the world. You know, biggest actor. Not the greatest actor probably, you know, from many point of views. But, you know, ultimate hype man. There's nobody that, you know, you can get that can push a product and make it seem so cool like him. From the tequila to the, what's that other product? The energy drink. What's it, Zoa? I could be wrong. I'm sorry if I mispronounce it. Then you have now, what is it? Papatui? The Target or the men's line, facial, body care, all that stuff, right? I mean, at this point, there's a lot of celebrities that have gone into that whole market with the skincare, and a lot of them have been pretty good. Reading reviews and seeing which ones, I think Scarlett Johansson did that. The Rock's into it. Of course, the Kardashians, Jenners, whatever, right? I'm sure, don't forget Pharrell. So there's a whole bunch. But he's saying, hey, you can get it for $10 or less. Anyway, I'm not trying to get away from the point. I'm just saying he's the ultimate hype man. So, the reason I say about the whole Cody thing is because we focused so much on Cody, and I felt like we forgot about everyone else. When I say everyone, we forgot about everyone. Yes, the CM Punk injury did fuck a lot of stuff up. We already know that. It messed up things so bad that we have to, work double duty now for Roman, double duty for Cody, double duty for Seth. That's how bad it was. And that's all great and good. I would have preferred to see The Rock against Roman. There could have been a way it could have been worked into it. And aside from that 20-minute promo that he did for Instagram or on Instagram, which I thought was brilliant, there was, as the weeks went on after that, maybe 2 weeks later, yes, we have the, Io Sky versus Bayley, right? Yes, we have Becky Lynch versus Rhea Ripley, right? At that time, a couple of weeks ago, into just recently, now we're starting to get the ball rolling. We're how many weeks away from WrestleMania at this point? 2.5 weeks? And we didn't really have that many other matches. The other matches that mattered. We just had the Gunther tournament recently, right? That was last week? And Sami Zayn won. Much to the complaints of the fans who wanted Chad Gable. I get that one. It makes a lot of sense. I actually wanted to see Ricochet get his rematch. But again, hey, we're not the ones who put the show together. We're not the bookies, right? So I respect it. I respect that process. Whatever reason they're pushing them for, that's fine. I mean, who wouldn't want to see Ricochet at WrestleMania, right? So what we're going to put him in, and what kind of match? If he's on it now, right? I felt that they could have maybe had that tournament in WrestleMania where you make it a really good match. Then the winner gets Gunther on night 2. My opinion again. I'm just saying how I feel, how it could go. You want to do that? Because apparently everything that's happening now these days is a tournament. Right? Across the board in different organizations now. Tag team tournament is like the flavor of the whole year right now. There's been tournaments going left and right from NXT to WWE. I don't follow anything else at this point. I think it's too much. Top of that, I work full time, so time is tough to come up with when it comes to keeping up with all this. Yeah. So Sami Zayn gets Gunther. Okay, great. We just found that out now, right? We could have had at least over a month to push this match. We already knew that Cody was fighting Roman at that point. The week later or whatever it was. Enough time to hype it up. The funny thing is, though, there hasn't been much hyping either between them two. They haven't said much to each other. But at the same time, I get it. Because you let the guy who was there before you shine. I get it. We don't need The Rock to shine any more than he has, right? I said it once before on a prior podcast. Can't remember the episodes or the episode. He's not going to be around long. Enjoy it. So now that, the funny thing is though, now that he's the heel, now we're enjoying it now. Now we like it. We enjoy the insults. We enjoy the whole thing. He hypes up where he's going to be at, which is great, you know? But he's been basically carrying this whole thing. It must be nice, right? For Roman. He's just sitting back and not saying much. I mean, he even showed up at SmackDown last week. It was The Rock, right? He just did the whole song, which is great. Back at Memphis, his home, and he got a pop. They were I don't even know if there's any booze over there, right? Props to Memphis for coming through. Props, because they came out very well on TV as far as the fans and the audience that night. And The Rock has new music. He has this whole, what people call the Black Adam entrance. No. This must be I don't want to say it. Do we remember that he was the most electrifying man in sports entertainment? It's currents of electricity. It's not a superhero entrance. Maybe mix the two together, but that's what it is. It's the most electrifying entrance. Kind of goes along with what he said. The Rock is not doing anything different. He's going back to the past from his origin. From his days when he was a heel, and he's bringing it back. And he's doing excellent. I don't want to hear anybody say, hey, he's doing something bad. He's brought a lot of attention to WrestleMania. That was the intent, to make it as big because he's involved. Right? Cody's the well-suited gentleman. Right? He's the worker. He's the one that's there every week. But there's the one person that, brings the energy and brings the hype. Sometimes that's needed. That maybe the Codys can't do. Hey. Look what happened with Sammy, right? Fans are like, oh my goodness, he gets the chance against Gunther? This may happen with Cody too. We may get tired of his shit too at some point. We all do. Right? So my biggest complaint is that I felt that we forgot about everyone else in the card. Aside from the set matches. Hey, Judgment Day didn't even have an opponent yet. They still don't. Now we have this tournament now to partake in the 6-pack ladder match that's happening. And there's some good matches too that are happening. Tomorrow you have the Creed brothers against DIY. Which I oppose that match. Because I felt that those two teams should be a part of that match. So one of them's going to be out, and that sucks. So now what? And, we have some that are part of it, but at the same time, again, that's what I'm referring to. We just forgot about everyone else. We focused so much on The Rock and Cody and the Bloodline story. I felt, aside from Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch, aside from the Io Sky Bailey match, those are the other ones that are just kind of like getting pushed along. We still don't have a match for Bianca Belair, right? We don't have anything for her. Is Jade Cargill even going to, shows up here and there? Is she going to appear? Does she have a match at all? Is any announcement? Anything? Oh, yeah, and they just announced recently Kevin Owens and Randy Orton against Logan Paul for the U.S. title. Triple threat match. So we have a triple threat, a 6-pack ladder match, a dream tag team match, night 1. Night 2, already know Roman against Cody. Cody finishes his story. No shit, he's going to finish it this time. Well, you know what? We don't know because that's what they want to do. And I'm happy that they're making it so unpredictable. But, the odds are maybe. And if he doesn't, then shit. We can't be pissed off. There has to be a reason it's happening, right? The good news is that The Rock has brought a lot of attention to WrestleMania, a lot of attention to a lot of things. And he's still a very likable guy. Still showing up in Times Square in New York City for his Papa Tui thing, surprise. Took pictures of people. A lot of good things. Anyway, so that's what that's my thing. And the crazy thing is, the reason I say that the tag team tournament, and I'm going back and, going back between subjects, and I'm sorry about it. Just how I think sometimes. I feel like if, when it comes up into thought, if I don't say it, I forget. Or I'll struggle to remember what I was going to say. So, here I am. Tag team tournament. We have one for the 6-pack ladder match, right? We don't have the set opponents yet because it's still going on in Raw tomorrow. We'll find out more. NXT has a tag team tournament too, to see who's going to fight Braun, Breakker, and Baron Corbin at Stand and Deliver. Oh, I am going to Stand and Deliver, by the way. I want to support the NXT. Not gonna say the lower brand. I want to support NXT. I know the matches will be good. I wish the event wasn't so early, but hey, it is what it is. They have, you have Ilya Dragunov against Tony D'Angelo for the world title. Trick Williams challenge Carmelo, which we know is going to happen. That's an obvious one. Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker are waiting to see who's going to end up being their opponents, because there's a tag team tournament that's going on right now. 3 matches, 3 winners. They fight in a triple threat match. The winner of the triple threat match is the one that challenges them at Stand and Deliver. Roxanne Perez is probably going to fight Valkyrie for the women's title match. The NXT title, women's title match. I feel like even then, I don't know. I just feel like NXT is kind of, and I'm staying quiet for a moment because I'm trying to get this right and just think about this really not too deep, but at least they're doing something. I feel like, don't get me wrong. The cool thing about NXT is like, we're not politicking here for someone to get their chance to get a championship fight again. We're just letting it happen. Nobody politic to get Tony D'Angelo to defeat Carmelo so he can get a title shot. Well deserved, great. Just lost a tag team belt and now he's fighting for the world title. Unfortunately, it's a limited roster on the men's side in NXT. They need to do something about that. And I will say this, NXT, we need to stop, having them seem like the underbrand, like the lower end. Because we're having Baron Corbin, we're having the LWO, we're having a whole bunch of stars going back. Kabuki Warriors go in there. They're in the same level. If you go to the main roster, congrats. That's it. That's awesome. But they should also have like a bidding thing too for NXT. Inject a little life into that, especially the men's division. The women's division's all stacked everywhere between NXT, SmackDown, Raw, whatever. Anyway, so that's my little complaint. Going back to the Cody Rock thing. I used to remember the days when, WrestleMania would have a match ready and it would be like 2 months worth of hype, 2.5 months. We would have only like the quarterly pay-per-views, the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, and that was it. In between, house shows, TV shows, and all good. Which usually gave it a lot of time to promote the match. Now it's just like, half a day. Oh, we have this match now. I want to see what else they can add. We have 2 nights worth of not a lot of talk and just more action, right? So I'm wondering. Oh, how did I forget this one? Who's going to challenge the Kabuki Warriors? Still, we don't have anybody. Right? They just defended the belts twice in NXT and in Raw. Who's out there for them? We're more focused on, the Bayley versus Io, that the tag team champions are just there. They're just there. Don't get me wrong, they did defend the titles twice, but still, we have to do something. Something got to give. We need some matches. We need to hype up other matches. You know, I say this because not everyone is a fan of The Rock and Cody, Roman and Seth. Some of us like the Ricochets. Some of us like the Sami Zayn. Some of us like the Gunthers. Some of us like, Judgment Day. Some of us like Finn Balor, right? Chad Gable, Otis. Some of us show up just to see the smaller guys, right? I mean, hey, the ticket for NXT, it was, they're fighting in Wells Fargo Center. What is it? Wachovia Center? Whatever it's called now in Philly. I'm there to see them because I know that those guys are tomorrow in the main roster. And I want to see Trick Williams. And luckily, I'm grateful I was able to get aisle seats at below the retail. So I'm grateful for that. Thank you. I can't wait. I'm going to try to make night one. It's going to be a stretch. I'm going to have to figure it out because the hotels out there, of course, with any event, are off the charts. Off the charts right now as far as the daily rate. It's insane. But it is what it is. No complaints. It's just, that's with any big event. Any big event. Whether it's a concert, soccer, football, baseball. You travel, they're there. You're going to pay a little bit more normally. That's expected. I just didn't think it was going to be $500 a night. Average in most places. But hey, that's the only thing that's maybe holding me back from going to night one as much as I would love to go to night one. Because every WrestleMania I've attended, which was 18, Rock against Hogan, Triple H against Chris Jericho at the Sky Dome, WrestleMania 29, The Rock against Cena. I haven't gone to a wrestling event in 11 years, by the way. I'm a big wrestling fan. Always have kept with it. There's been moments I kind of let it go for a little bit. Personal things are coming up, and now I have a little bit more time. I'll watch the clips. I'll give my feedback. I try the best I can. And, so I'm excited. You you're going to go all out this time. I have aisle seats. A little farther back, but aisle seats. Right, at the entrance as the NXT stars come out. So that'll be fun. I'm going to hope I put on some videos. It'll be in the YouTube channel. E-24G exclamation point on YouTube. And NXT's not going to have that much matches because, again, in my opinion, they bring quality matches there. Oh, of course, they're going to have the North American title at some point. That's going to be something too. And by the way, if you have Peacock, you could watch the full episodes of NXT a week later, I think it is. Maybe I could stand corrected. All the shows to me are pretty good. They just don't have like a star from the main roster be a part of it. Except for Baron Corbin, you have the LWO now, and that's good. By the way, the LWO was a part of the 6-pack tag team tournament. They were eliminated, but it's okay. They may still have a chance to be at Stand and Deliver because they won their first match. So now they're part of one of the 3 teams who will be in the triple threat match to face Baron and Braun. And another reason I want to go Stand and Deliver. This just might well as be the last match or appearance for Braun Breaker at NXT. It's basically a PLE for NXT, so it may be worth it. And if they stay and then he stays champion, then great. He is the type of guy that can go on both. As Shawn Michaels had mentioned, as I read somewhere, that Shawn Michaels said, hey, he has unfinished business here. He could do both, actually. And with the way that they're doing with him, yeah, give him a couple squash matches here and there against a couple of NXT guys. You don't need to do anything as of yet. Do a slow push because, nothing at this point is going to go beyond The Rock and Cody. Let all that unfold. Let all that happen. Let that all kind of weigh down and then see what you want to do with Braun. The guy's amazing. And I will say this. Let's stop the Goldberg comparisons. Aside from the tattoo that he has, it's night and day. He is, as I mentioned before, his father and his uncle molded into one. Even better, in my opinion, even better than the two of them. If he stays the way he is physically, better. So much better. He's taken the moves from each one. If you saw the other day, he just jumped up. He has it all. He could be a luchador style wrestler, physical, power, finesse, everything, speed. Well, we already know he has a speed off the ropes. It's insane. Hey, they have that term, Mark. I'm a Braun Breaker Mark. I'm sorry. I was also Steiner Mark back in the day. Anyway, going back to the main roster. So that's my complaint. And The Rock did the song recently. Classic Rock. Great stuff. I just feel like Cody and The Rock is right, though. The Rock is like, it's almost like a freestyle battle on hip hop, right? You have the one guy and then the other guy, and they're good. But then this one guy just is like levels beyond him. And Cody's really good. But Cody's like holding back. He's almost like crying on interviews, and The Rock is mocking him and saying, hey, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. You were a mistake. Look at you before. And, they put the costume of what was it? Stardust? Whatever his name was. The Rock is just doing it. I mean, that's all great and good. Again, I just want to see more matches. More people get the highlight. Bianca Belair was hyping up Elimination Chamber, and she has her undefeated WrestleMania streak, all right? So now what? Is she still going to be in it? On her own? With who? Is she tag teaming with someone? Is she going to tag team with Naomi? What's happening? Right? So back. Yeah. I had to pause for a minute, so I apologize about that. So I'm just saying I'm back for that reason, not just like some random I'm back and just people are like, huh? What do you mean? He was never gone? Yeah, I was. Anyway, so yeah, Bianca Belair, going back to that, undefeated WrestleMania. We have Jade Cargill. We hyped her up in Royal Rumble. Nothing. She's not even signed to which brand yet. Maybe she's still developing or whatever the case is. Give her some squash matches. Or I have a feeling I know what's going to happen with her. If they're going to do anything, you just give her, give Nia Jax to her then. At that point, that will be like, okay, this is the real deal. If she squashes Nia Jax, then okay. Now we already have someone that's an instant contender for the belt, right? But even then, though, again, it's just not enough. There's not enough matches. There's not enough hype aside from Cody, Rock, Roman, Seth. And The Rock has taken the reins. He took the ball and he ran with it. He's already scored a passing touchdown, a running touchdown, an interception. He did the kick return already. He's done it all with the promos. That just made it so much easier for Roman, But again, there's not much. What are you going to say? You're going to say, which is a good thing, though. What does Roman have to say? I did it last year. Again, he did that already. He already said that already. So who cares, right? Cody's going to say, yeah, I'm going to finish my story. We already know that. What else you got? You had to. You have to, but it was brilliant. In a way, we give the fans credit, but at the same time, we also fucked it up. We messed it up. We put so much focus on this that they can't even focus on the other stuff yet. Hey, I mean, I guess that's what it's always been that way recently, right? But anyway, if anybody wants to leave feedback, let me know. Check out listen, follow the channel. I'll do what I can. I'm not always doing wrestling podcasts. I will do a mix of other things. Baseball season's about to begin. So Formula One season's still going on. I like soccer, basketball. Don't really follow it like that anymore. Used to, not anymore. Yeah, and other important subjects, just basic stuff, real life stuff. So some critiques, some feedback, and other things like that. Not So Created Podcast. Again, I'm on Amazon, YouTube, Deezer, whole bunch of other platforms. I greatly appreciate everybody who listens and puts the time into it to listen. You have no idea what that means. I mean, the whole point is to catapult, and even though I am a one-man person right now, I'll have a guest here and there, friends of mine, so on and so forth, and just enjoy it, and just kind of get your mind off of things. And of course, there'll be those serious moments. We want to just talk about real stuff too. But yeah, I really appreciate every single one of you. I always dedicate the show to those who are closest to me, the ones I care about the most. You know who you are. I have to keep on saying every single one of you. You guys know who you are. My inspiration, my motivations. Shout out to my cousin, by the way. Check out and download Vivid Arts Network on Roku, Apple, and multiple platforms. She has this really cool art channel. And I'm not getting paid for it, by the way, to say this. This is my cousin. So love my family. So, support each one. So just go check it out. If you're into art, very cool documentaries going on over there. And, clips of shows that she's done. But again, yeah, I really appreciate every single one of you. Props to everybody who gives me feedback. I greatly appreciate it. Everybody who has contributed to the time and listening to the shows. If you pass it on, I'm grateful of that. Yeah. And I'm going to just, press that button, have that song go, because it's about to end for this episode. I greatly appreciate it. Thanks for listening. And this is what is it again? The Not So Creative Podcast. See ya.